I have Lang's microphone up still. I don't know why. He's not here right now.
That's okay. Test.
Yeah,
1,
check,
2,
check.
3, 4.
I was gonna bust out a freestyle for a
were
second
you?
there. If you were letting that, I was trying to come up with one.
That's tough.
And it was not gonna be good though. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Yeah.
TGIF.
Great Katy Perry song.
TGIF.
Great Katy Perry song.
One of her better.
Katy Perry had a run.
She did,
That's all
and then
we
the
can
run
call it.
stopped.
She's got the one song. I got one of them off the new album.
No, no.
Yeah, no. Somebody told me. The 143 album, is that what it is?
No, yes.
It's got
143.
the one with Doechii. I like Doechii. There's a new
also
artist
like
who I think is
Doechii.
good. I'm Doechii over Meg, Big Glow, and all of them. Like she's good.
I like Glow, but I do think Doechii is
It's
the
Big
most
Glow, right?
underrated.
Big Glow is how you say
Sure.
it. Yeah, we'll go Big Glow. I'm his, he's mine. It's like samples the T.I. song, Why You Wanna.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of why I
only
liked
listened to
it.
that album once, so I don't have a fair take on it. Oh, that's right, because Doechii performed with her at the VMAs. Thanks for that reminder.
Forgot those existed anymore.
We get the Grammy nominations come out today.
The Grammys do?
I'm going to give you the odds in Music Friday.
Oh, the Grammys.
The Grammys. Oh, the Grammys. We also got maybe the most important song of the season dropped overnight.
I will be there. It's Playboy Cardi dropped I Am Music.
Yeah.
He didn't, did he?
No.
No.
Oh, 2 Grizzlies games this weekend.
Yeah, but one of them's on the road.
I know.
So
We'll be watching from home.
Sunday night.
What time is the one Sunday night?
It can't be that late.
All right, you figure it out. I'll set the show. What's up, everybody? It is Friday, November 8th. It is going to be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. John Roser filling in for CJ Hurt behind the glass. Coming up on today's show, it is a Grizzlies game day. Last home game for about a week and a half. Grizzlies take on the Wizards tonight at FedEx Forum. They're on the road this weekend in Portland. We'll talk about all the upcoming Grizz weekend festivities. Lang Whitaker will join us to continue the conversation. We'll talk with him also about the upcoming college football weekend, the NFL weekend. We had a big Thursday night football matchup last night. Joe Burrow failed by his team yet again against the Baltimore Ravens. We'll give our games of the week in college football and the NFL, and then we'll end with a little Music Friday. We'll give some Grammy odds as those nominations come out later today, what we're listening to going into the weekend. It's a Friday. You know what we say. Yippee-ki-yay!
Yippee-ki-yay, mother!
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
At Southland Casino Hotel, it's time to work hard, play hard with our $500,000 giveaway. Earn entries October through November 9th and take home free play and amazing prizes on select Saturdays, including a big rig. Stay connected on social media for weekly drawing clues. Join us November 9th for the grand finale drawing where you could drive off in a four-wheeler, side-by-side, or big rig. Work hard and play harder at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Somebody else we have not seen in a long time is Morant. Since you've seen him, does he look any different to you, or is this the same superstar Ja that we were used to?
He's always getting better. So you just got to watch out for that. That's.
And it's a revenge tour. It's a revenge tour, like the world's forgotten about me. And
I don't think they forgot.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The three big beats this week. One was root for points in honor of John Roser. How about that Miami-Louisville game? Crushed the over, which was 60. Finished with 97 total points, 52-45. Meanwhile, the Academy's covering again, both Army and Navy, getting the job done. This. Army, best start since 96. America. Navy crushed Charlotte. They're ranked 23rd and 24th in the country.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You know, we got to talk about Scottie Pippen Jr. Scottie has inked that contract, and he is now officially off the two-way. He is a member of the regular rotation.
Well-deserved, from my opinion. Like, he straight up earned this one from all the time put in last season with the injuries to Summer League.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizz Beat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out. Let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling of having my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Good Friday, everybody. It is a Grizzlies game day. It is a Tigers game day. It is a day where I hope you did not wake up realizing you played against Jamar Chase in fantasy football last night. You want to know who did, Roser? Bennett Doyle, because he was playing against me.
Oh.
And I had Jamar Chase and his 55.4 fantasy football points from last night's Thursday Night Football matchup.
Yeah, we've on Chris Vernon Show, we have talked about this. Why are the Bengals messing with him? Like, why would you not pay him? Yes. There aren't many guys in the league who can do like what he did last night.
I was watching last night's game, and I follow a lot of Broncos people, obviously coming from Denver, and they're like, can you imagine if Bo Nix had a Jamar Chase?
Imagine if anybody had a Jamar Chase.
Any quarterback would be made better by a Jamar Chase. 11 catches, 264 yards, and 3 touchdowns. In a loss.
In a loss.
Loss.
It is insane to think that freaking Burrow had him and Justin Jefferson on the same team in college.
That team is just insane to think
back
crazy. Upon.
Yeah,
it's insane that the Bengals still might make the playoffs. Their odds have dropped dramatically after last night's loss. And my takeaway, Roser and I were talking before the show. We each have something to bring from last night's Thursday Night Football game, even though Roser did not watch last night's Thursday Night Football game. But you come with
early.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah, early.
I was
in bed at 8:30 and I was asleep by 9, and it felt amazing.
Beautiful.
Had the alarm set for 6 a.m. I woke up at 2, went back to sleep around 3, woke up at 6.
I had book club. And I did want to shout out, it's Downtown Dining Week.
It is.
In Memphis. And if you're here, please go to one of the restaurants participating in Downtown Dining Week. Like, our local restaurants rule. And I went to Gem. Have you heard of Gem? It's the one in the Edge District.
It's down that, this doesn't really
down
work
Madison.
with where we are. Madison,
yeah. It's so good.
I've heard that.
We had the Downtown Dining Week special as a burger, which was fantastic and came with potato wedges, and all 3 of us had it. But then we got a piece of chocolate cake that comes with a glass of ice cold milk. And I would not suggest mixing wine and milk as we did last night. But you know what? If you ever need just a piece of cake, like, go to Gem.
You know what? Sometimes a glass of milk
hits hard.
So, no, this is the thing. When we were at All-Star a few years ago in Chicago, right before, it was Ja's rookie season, the year when COVID hit, like literally they came back from All-Star break and the league was like done 2 weeks later because Rudy Gobert got COVID and everything. We remember. Right, coughing on the microphones. We got there, snowstorm, ice storm. We had to walk to Lou Malnati's down the street from our hotel. We're staying at the Intercontinental, Michael Jordan's restaurant's in there.
Humble
Anyways,
brag.
one of the nights we were like, dude, we could not find food anywhere. Like, we could not find anything in the area that was still open. It was late or something. And we looked at the thing, and they had like room service on the menu. The room service, and one of the things you could get was milk and cookies. And they would bring you 3 or 4 chocolate chip cookies and a glass of cold milk.
I was wondering how this was getting back to the milk portion of this, but it's a nice touch. It had a nice, the cake had like a crunch on it. So many desserts are just soft, and sometimes you need like a little texture deviation. So anyway, shout out Jem, shout out Downtown Dining Week. It was great. If you need a 1965 American novel that you've probably never heard of that you should probably read, it's called Stoner by John Edward Williams.
And of course, it came out in the 60s.
His last name is Stoner. You're going to be wildly disappointed. It is the story of the most mundane life, like just a picture of a man's life who lived in Columbia, Missouri, and probably should have tried some drugs at some point because it would have made it a little more exciting. But it was a beautiful book. 5 out of 5 on the book club.
So it's about a boring person,
system.
Yet it's a good book. It's a great book.
Yes. It's about like this. To you, is one of the scariest things in the world living a life that had no real thrill or excitement. Is that a good life to you? Is a boring life a good life?
One of the scariest things is someone handing me a book and say, read this, and I'm going to ask you questions about it later. I'm like, oh, gosh. I'm
out. I'm done.
I'm so poorly at this. We have to talk to on that portion of like my ACT, I tested as well as a 5th grader should.
Oh.
I do not read things and
like reading comprehension and then having to answer immediate questions about that.
Horrible at it.
Text analysis, I think, is what it was called within the ACT. Yeah. Well, poor Stoner.
But Stoner's great.
It is. Most people would probably find it very boring, but I hope they make it a movie someday. It was supposed to be a movie with Casey Affleck, and then the pandemic came, and then the project just got scrapped at some point. But shout out Stoner and Jem. But I did make it home to watch the second half of the Thursday Night Football game, and I once again was left saying, please, somebody save Joe Burrow. Because Joe Burrow, there have been 2 times in NFL history, John Roser, where a quarterback has thrown for over 30 completions, over 300 passing yards, over 4 touchdown passes, multiple touchdown passes 40 yards or longer, didn't have more than 1 pick, and lost. And both of those instances have come this season for Joe Burrow against the Baltimore Ravens.
So these kind of tie together.
Okay.
The Bills, the Chiefs, the Texans, the Packers, the Vikings, the Lions, the Commanders, the Falcons, the Bucs, the 49ers, the Cardinals, the Rams, the Seahawks, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the New York Jets, the Miami Dolphins. Who else do we want to go to? The Indianapolis Colts, actually. The Philadelphia Eagles.
Is it every team except the Bengals?
The Cincinnati Bengals have scored more points than every team in the NFL except the Baltimore Ravens this season, and they're sitting at 4-6.
Well, that's because the Bengals defense stinks. But you want to know what? The Ravens defense stinks too. And it is going to be the thing that holds that team back from making a Super Bowl run. Like watching the game last night, you think to yourself, this is where the Chiefs have the greatest advantage in the AFC this season. And I don't know. I hate it for the Bengals. I love watching Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase play football together. And that 2-point conversion at the end, like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Everyone was mad at Todd Bowles last week in the Bucs game against the Chiefs for not going for the 2-point conversion. Everyone gets mad last night that the Bengals go for it and don't make it. And yes, there were 2 penalties on that play, and I do not understand how we continue to live in a world where those cannot be reviewable and changed to make the right call at the end of a game. It's 2024. Please, just give us that instant flippability. And I know it opens up a bit of a can of worms, but in this case, Burrow, there was a face mask, and Mike Gesicki was held as well. And a lot of people look at that and think to themselves, and even Al Michaels on the broadcast is saying, like, too many games end this way. And I know I don't always agree with Al Michaels' game calls at this point in his career, but I agree with that one.
So and I've got another theory on that one too. To your point on the Baltimore Ravens, there are only 2 teams who have allowed more points than the Ravens this season. Now, some of these teams, there will be more when they play their games this week, but as of right now, there are only 2 teams who have given up more points than the Baltimore Ravens this season.
Who?
The Cincinnati Bengals and the Carolina Panthers.
Beautiful.
So, yeah, when you talk about the Ravens defense going to be a real problem for them, that is
an actual concern.
Kansas City's offense has been a bit of a struggle this season, and they looked really good against the Ravens in week 1. So,
well, it was a nice Thursday night football game to have, an exciting Thursday night football game. We now move into a Friday. Grizzlies, Wizards. Luke, our wonderful social media captain who put out the tweet today, said Grizz-Wiz. So I'm going to call it the Grizz-Wiz game all day.
Well, this is a big one for him.
It is because he used to work for the Washington Wizards.
A big one for
revenge
Luke.
Game for Luke. We had a revenge game for Jay
Luke.
Huff, for Scottie Pippen Jr. against the Lakers.
Yes.
Now we have the revenge game for Luke against
game for Luke. Not
the
Kennard.
Wizards. Maybe Luke Kennard can make like 8 threes in this one.
It sounds great.
We have Grizzlies Wizards tonight in Memphis, and we have Memphis Rice out at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium.
You were trying to make sure you got that right, weren't you?
I go quickly. I've been calling it the Liberty Hole too often these days, and that's a crutch for me because I do struggle with Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. So I'm trying to go back to its government name and give it the respect that it deserves. But not often that we get a Friday night NBA college football doubleheader in the city of Memphis. We will, of course, be at Grizz-Wiz. We have to. We're here for work. But I will be curious to see how many fans go out and watch the Memphis Tigers, a 2-loss team, all hopes and dreams of a spot in the college football playoff lost, taking on Rice on a Friday.
I would bet not many. But,
I know. It's on ESPN too.
It's on ESPN too. I would bet probably not many. But look, we're trying to keep Rice from having a 2-game win streak because Rice...
You can't let food win twice.
Rice beat Navy.
Yes.
Yeah, which is insane.
Yeah, so there's something to play for.
There's something to play for
There's something to play for. You can't let Rice win 2 games in a row.
Yeah. It is depressing.
Anything else they can play for?
I mean, pride.
Yeah. That's a good thing.
You don't want to go out like that. You don't want to let UT... Look, you lost a game. It's your second loss. It stinks. You're not going to make the playoff. But, like, what's worse than 2 losses? 3 losses. So...
And losing to Rice.
Yeah, and they won't have who's the guy who
Blankumsey.
Who
hurt himself doing the
Ronaldo celebration.
I hate to see it. It's a rough way
to
go down. The Grizzlies won't have another starter tonight. Jaw's out. Were you encouraged that he's out with hip soreness and not with a hamstring strain? Because when he left the game against the Lakers, it was seemingly a hamstring situation, or at least that's what it was designated as. And on the official injury report, he's out tonight with hip soreness.
Yeah.
I would take the hip soreness over hamstrings. Hamstrings take a little bit longer. We just saw it with Jaren Jackson Jr.
If we were out with hip soreness, I'd maybe do like 3 shows a year. If we could be out with hip soreness.
I am hip soreness.
If hip soreness kept us out,
you're gone.
You're
gone.
I would be like Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
I would be Kawhi Leonard.
I'd be Joel Embiid.
You'd be Joel Embiid.
I would never play a back-to-back.
Never play a
back-to-back.
Yeah. I'd be Kawhi. I may just stop mid-show, be like, don't have it now. Like he did hear that one.
You'd try to start. You'd always give it a go.
I'd give it a go. And like,
no. No, thank you.
No.
Yeah. 3 starters out, though, at this point with Ja, Dez, and Marcus Smart.
Look, you should be able to still beat the Wizards. I think Scottie Pippen Jr. can do fine here. You've got the way that they kind of run their offense with the passing and how they do it, it's like you don't have to have the one guy.
Right.
That get like LaRavia led them in assists the other night against the. Now maybe he wouldn't have if Ja hadn't gotten hurt on a pass from Jake LaRavia, but it just showed you like it doesn't have to be Ja getting 12 assists every night, even though he is averaging the most assists.
The ball
of his career.
is moving with or without Ja.
The ball moves with or without Ja. You have other guys who can cut, other guys who can pass. That's kind of been the whole point. They want multiple playmakers out there, multiple guys who can make plays with the ball. If you get Jitty back, Jitty's another one of those guys. Jitty's a very skilled player.
There's always the idea that Luke can be that for you as well.
Kennard can too. He can dribble, he can pass, he can shoot. So you've got other avenues, and I think it's the Wizards.
It's the Wizards.
You got the Wizards.
2-win Wizards team, and then you get the Trailblazers on Sunday. There is a world where Ja doesn't play tonight. We don't know what the length of this is at this point. I'm sure we'll get more clarification tonight. But you could feasibly be without John Morant against
Yeah.
the Wizards and the Trailblazers and still go 2-0. You can at least split.
Yeah, no. And I think you probably need to get that Blazers win because on the start of the road trip because you do have a Lakers team and a Warriors team. The Warriors are freaking good.
They
And
sure are.
The Lakers are going to probably want revenge, although Anthony Davis, they've got injury problems. I'm sure we'll get to that. But one thing I will say for the Blazers, I watched some of their game against the Suns last week, and it's like I don't know what they're trying to do. I really don't get the point
Nobody
of
does.
what they're doing.
My timeline regularly has a tweet that says, "What are the Blazers doing?"
Because you got young
From
players.
various people.
You got young players, and like sometimes Chauncey Billups just like doesn't play them.
Yes.
Like it's, but when he doesn't, like, I mean, some of these guys like Denny Avdia, Anthony Simons, Jeremy Grant, like they are real NBA players. Like they're not just like slaw. They are real NBA players. So if you don't take it serious, like it could pick you off.
Yeah. It will be interesting tonight. Like, how much have you heard about Alex Sarr?
I know he's leading the league in blocks.
He
per
is.
game, yeah.
And I found that interesting. He's had multiple blocks in all 6 games that he's played this season so far. Most multi-block games to start a season since Sean Bradley in 1993. But it is from a speaking on the rookies perspective, I think of all of them, and Reese Shea just had the monster game for the Hawks, so that kind of elevated him into the larger NBA conversation where this time of year it's so hard to catch up on everything everywhere all at once. And so someone has to have a big performance in order for you to be like, oh, hey, that got my attention with, insert rookie here. But for Alex Sarr, we'll see him tonight. He's also opponents are shooting 33% in the paint with him as the primary defender.
Ooh.
So that's something to look at as the Grizzlies start 2 rookies.
Zach
One of them
Edey.
is Zach Edey. How many minutes would you like to see from Zach Edey? Did you have any issue with Edey only playing 15 minutes in their win the other night?
They played him off the court. So no.
They just
I
kept
didn't.
switching.
So like I brought it up on our Grizzlies post game live. I said, so they just pulled him off the court. They decided like, okay, they're going to keep getting that switch with LeBron, and LeBron would pull up and shoot it and make it, or he would decide, okay, I'm driving around you and I'm going to make it. Either way, LeBron was scoring.
Right.
So my thought was, all right, well, you either got to just take him out of the game because like, okay, well, we can't do this. They're going to keep getting that, or you've got to find a way to like not let that happen. And they just decided we're going to pull you from the game. They just decided to go with that. So, no, I did not have a problem with it. That's something that's going to happen at different times. Teams are going to do that. So, I think the Grizzlies were able to deal with it because the Lakers are also shorthanded. I think the Grizzlies, as they get their players back, but it seems like when they get one back, they lose one. So, if they ever get them all back.
I don't like that trend.
I don't like it either. Not a great trend. And I think we've got enough evidence to say that it is a trend. That it is a trend.
That's a math problem. If that ACT problem came up on the math section, I'd be like, God, they're sure losing a lot.
Yeah, they're losing. Yeah.
There's no net negative happening here at the moment.
No. So I think they, as they do get some guys back, I think they'll be able to, and they play teams better than the Lakers, they'll be able to deal with a little more teams that want to do that to Edey.
We'll see how it goes tonight.
I think Edey, though, a couple of those even the other night, he got the post touch, turned, took the hook, and he just missed it. And it's
the touch is getting better. You've seen it.
Yes, he's going to start making those,
right.
And it's going to be, it
can trend towards more automatic.
Yes,
but right now, the touch comes and goes.
Where
it was really good against the Nets.
Yeah,
and then it kind of reverted back against the Lakers.
Again, playing a better team,
right?
And the Nets just have our number for some reason, but whatever. I'm glad we're done with that team. But like, it'll come. It'll come.
I will say, even with Edey, and I know he had the back-to-back double-doubles before that game against the Lakers. He would have had another double-double if he played. He had like 8 and 7 in 15 minutes. They haven't needed him for rebounding. I didn't realize the Grizzlies are 3rd in the league in rebounding right now, which is huge testament to guys like Santi Aldama, who's been much improved on the boards. Jake LaRavia, you mentioned his facilitating skills, like
playmaker Jake.
Playmaker Jake. Can we like shorten like? No, I was trying to like fit Jake into playmaking, and that was not working.
Play Jaking.
Yeah, I didn't like that. The second I thought it in my brain, I'm growing. I'm stopping myself before it comes out of my mouth.
Pause without
even
saying
how
pause.
even how your guards, Scottie Pippen Jr. has had some big rebounds. Ja's a rebounding point guard. Like, you haven't needed the volume. Sure, it's always going to be better when Zach Edey is getting you offensive rebounds and extended possessions, but it's not like in his absence, rebounding has been a weakness for this team. I have felt that in watching the games, but until because I was looking at the matchup against the Wizards tonight in terms of like biggest differentials between the two teams, and one of them is rebounding because the Grizzlies are 3rd and the Wizards are 18th.
Yeah.
Because we get those little courtside where they so nicely point out the spread of the differences between the two, and they put them in yellow numbers when they're greater. I love an easy to read spreadsheet. Spreadsheets, numbers are hard for me. My ACT, I loved answering questions about what I just read. I hated interpreting numbers in a variety of ways.
No, I got I think I got a 22 on my ACT, and it was, obviously I would have scored way better if I didn't test as well as a 5th grader on the reading comprehension part.
I won't brag.
And I think it's, you did like a 30, didn't you?
33.
Holy crap, you're a nerd.
Yes.
One of my best friends got a 33 too.
Yeah. Reading and writing was my jam.
Yeah.
Math and science were not.
So science, also on the science portion of it, I got to a point where I just started filling in. Like I was like, I'm so bored with this. I'm so
behind.
Bored with it.
Oh, I would just start running out of time. That was my only issue with those tests.
You actually tried to answer every question. Yes. Yeah, no, I just got bored with it.
I was trying to get into Yale, damn it.
I'm so annoyed by
and it didn't work. It didn't work.
It's what you get for trying, Jess.
That is. That's the lesson I learned from it. That's what I learned. All right, we got to take a break. Lang Whitaker is going to join us. We'll continue the conversation about the Grizzlies with him. We'll also get into some of the football storylines coming into the weekend when we get back with Lang.
Goldberg announces he's going to have a retirement match in 2025, and he said this on College Game Day.
We know you're trying to ride the coattails because the 2025 is supposed to be the year of John Cena. Goldberg, I have a message for you, my guy. We don't care about your retirement match. Your retirement match was 3 years ago. Go somewhere, go away.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
There's no substitute for experience, the knowledge gained from having been there before, and the passion to share what you know to make everyone around you better. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Justin Timberlake. I'm bringing sexy back. The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now. For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
One of the things I really do like about the history of the Memphis Grizzlies is that we have people who have moved here and stayed here. I like how much some of those guys have not only made millions here and won games here, but spent real time here and raised children here.
Yes.
And become a real part of the community.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The three big beats this week. One was root for points in honor of John Roser. How about that Miami-Louisville game?
Good
Crushed
grief.
the over, which was 60. Finished with 97 total points, 52-45. Meanwhile, the Academy's covering again, both Army and Navy, getting the job done.
This.
Army, best start since 96.
America.
Navy crushed Charlotte. They're ranked 23rd and 24th in the country.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Who do you see ending up in the SWAC championship game? So give me your East and your West based on what you see right now.
If I had to say from what I've seen this year so far, I think you're probably going to get a Southern Jackson SWAC championship.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Welcome back on a Friday. That means it's time to be joined by Lang Whitaker.
What's up?
What's up, Lang?
How are you?
Oh,
so
I
you
am.
got your good hippie on?
I know, it's so soft.
Yeah.
This is one of the softest things that I've ever put on my body. Did you get anything from the collection?
Yeah, I got the T-shirt and the hockey jersey. Although I'm not really a hockey jersey guy, but I thought
It was really cool.
just to
I could have been
have-
talked into the hockey
Yeah.
jersey, but I got this thing.
Yeah.
It was a good one.
That's a
We'll
good
be
one.
back at FedEx Forum tonight. Grizzlies, Wizards, Grizz.
3 home games in a row, trying to get the Grizzlies, keep the record going.
How many home wins do we have this
I said that in such a weird way. I sounded like Donald Trump. 3 home wins in a row, try to keep the record going.
And then I was like,
We're
what
gonna
are
make
you
it
saying?
4.
What are you saying?
Tigers eat food, not the other way around.
I'm doing the weave.
The Grizzlies.
Easy victory.
5-4 on the season, 3-2 at home. They've
Alex
already
Sarr.
they're already at a third of their home wins.
Bob Carrington's been great. Sorry.
Have you watched one Wizards game this
No,
year?
I have not. I've actually watched bits and pieces. I try to watch games every night on League Pass and kind of flip through. So I've watched a little bit. I know Bub Carrington's like number 2 on the rookie ladder right now.
Yes.
Like he's been like a big hit.
Right.
I actually watched the other French rookie, Ricochet, the other night for the Hawks. He was going off. He had 30-something for them. But I have not watched much of the Wizards this year. I did see Draymond talking about playing against them. Did you see that clip from his podcast?
No.
He said he had to play against the Wizards the other night, and they were all like talking trash to him during the game and stuff. And there's a clip of Draymond, Brevin,
with
Barron-
Jordan Poole. Duh.
Yeah, but a bunch of he said the other guys were all talking to him too, and like, he was like, "What's going on? I'm getting bullied out here."
That's so funny.
yeah.
Well, it is interesting because Bub Carrington, he was the 14th pick, so it's not exactly
Yeah.
the same, but from a standpoint of having 2 rookies who are important, and for the Wizards,
Impactful.
like they're in
Yeah.
rebuilding, so your rookies have to be impactful,
Yeah.
whereas with the Grizzlies, they've been, in the terms of Jalen Wells, necessarily impactful.
Yeah, but like you need the Wizards rookies are like sort of accidentally impactful. Like the Grizzlies want the rookies to play a big role and to help win games. The Wizards aren't trying to like win all these games.
Right, but they want their rookies have to be ready to be their stars earlier. Like we
No,
know,
not
you don't think so?
Why do they need to be stars? Like they don't want to win.
Not today.
Like in 3
but
years.
someday, the hope would be that the rookies that are playing now, like Jalen Wells is
Wells
more
is
than
giving
likely
you-
never going to be the face of this team. I mean, I don't want to.
They need to drain the swamp. They need to drain the swamp. You have young players. They're learning from Jordan Poole, who got punched out by a teammate and then left.
I remember
What
when
a
I got
loser.
punched by a teammate once.
What a loser. Get him off the team. That
I
can't
opened
be who those
Pandora's
young
box.
players
I
are looking up
apologize.
to.
Thanks, Lang. Appreciate it. No, it's true. It will be. I realized when I woke up, and again, like this is a Grizzlies team that is still built. You can come see Jaren Jackson Jr. go
Yeah.
to work on this team, and
Sure.
they have so many exciting components. Like this is a fun team to watch.
Yeah.
But I did think to myself, damn, we won't get an incredible Ja Morant highlight. I
This
spent
should-
last night
yeah.
watching a Ja Morant highlight edit on TikTok to
right.
John Mayer's Gravity.
Oh, I saw it.
I was like, what are we
Yeah,
doing
that,
here?
that flashback. Somebody was like, "Why am I watching Ja highlight set to John Mayer?"
I mean, I did think to myself, the lyrics of Gravity,
don't know them.
they do fit. Like Gravity is working against me. Gravity wants to bring me down.
It's a pretty literal song.
It's a very literal song.
I'm not a big John Mayer guy.
I'll never know what makes this man with all the love that his heart can stand. Dream of ways to throw it all away.
There is a John Mayer station now on Sirius XM.
I know, you've told me about
and
it.
I would pay like an extra $5 a month to get John Mayer off the station. Like, he picks the songs.
Wait.
They're not his songs. They're like other artists.
Yeah.
And he has a good taste. Like, he plays good music. This morning they played, I had it on the way taking my son to school. They played Outkast, Hey Ya. They played The Weeknd and Daft Punk, that song, I Feel Like Coming. And then they played Friday I'm in Love by The Cure, which is like such a happy song.
Okay.
Which made me also think a lot about, I don't know a lot about The Cure, but like I always thought they were kind of mad at the world. You know, they wear black and they look like Edward Scissorhands. And then they did like such a happy song, which is so weird. But anyway, and then in between the songs, John Mayer comes on and just talks for like 30 seconds to a minute. Can we get it without the talking? Like, let's just get just songs. Just play some songs.
He's
That's
got to
all I
give
want.
his perspective.
Um,
Very early in my relationship with Chris Luther, we went to a John Mayer concert in San Francisco.
Was that the first concert you went to together?
If you don't count the the opening and closing ceremonies of the Olympics.
Y'all were waiting on the world to change.
So we were at the John Mayer concert, and I can't remember what song it was, but like it's a romantic
Gravity.
energy.
Daughters.
Were y'all wearing something? Were y'all wearing something that was neon?
No.
Holy crap! Y'all don't know John. You don't know John.
No,
Mayer.
not that well.
Yeah, Lang, no, yeah. Oh
He has a
my
song
God.
called
I was
Neon.
waiting on the world to change, okay?
Yeah.
I was slow dancing in a burning room, and I looked over at Chris, and Chris
was
looked
he
at
crying?
me. No, no, it's the opposite.
That would be
This
the
was-
best if you looked over at Chris and
This
he
was,
was
I think,
crying
our
during
first.
the John
This was
Mayer
our
song.
first fight, and he looked at me and he said, "Guess what?" And I thought he was gonna say like, "I love you," and we'd said "I love you" at
He
this
said,
point. It wasn't the first time. And he goes,
"I
and I go,
farted."
"What?" No, and he
Oh.
goes, "Chicken butt," and I got so mad at him. And I had also smuggled a bottle of wine in my
bottle
pants.
of wine?
Yeah, I put it down my
Like a
pants.
small bottle of wine or
no,
a
a full one.
giant?
A big one, and then you put a sweatshirt over. This is
Good
the
grief.
women way to try to figure out how to bring something into a place where glasses of wine are going to cost you $22 for a teensy tiny glass of Chardonnay. But I just remember he said chicken butt, and I said, no.
Yeah.
This is you just ruined this beautiful night with John
That
Mayer.
is a good joke, though.
I know. And now we say it all the time.
Evergreen.
Back and forth. How do we get to John Mayer? Oh, John Morant highlights.
John Morant highlights.
What have you made of
We're not going
the-
to see Ja tonight.
I know. We
talked
won't see
about
Ja
that. Yeah.
tonight. But from a standpoint of we've seen a lot of Ja, not just us watching
Yeah.
Grizzlies games, there seems to have been a real intent of the NBA in showing all of his highlights and
Yes.
do you think it's intentional or is it
No,
just simply a
I mean,
result of
it's
how
just
great
that-
Ja is?
But I think the latter. It's also there's not a lot of other highlights.
I think that
You're
plays a
gonna post a
massive
bunch
part.
of mashup of Anthony Edwards shooting threes. Like I mean, like there's not a lot of like guys
Or
driving
his
to the
missed
rim
dunk
and-
last night made the rounds.
There's not a lot of like great, spectacular plays other than those plays. The thing that got me though is like, all right, if the NBA is gonna celebrate, hey, we got what was it, 100 million views or whatever on those
160
things.
I mean, at this
160
point,
yeah.
it's probably up to 200.
Whatever. They're like, hey, look, we got all these views. It's great. Da da da. And then the next game, Ja goes up for an alley oop and gets knocked out of the air and injured, and there's no call. Like,
yes.
if you're gonna celebrate the guy for helping make highlights, and let's take care of him when he tries to make a highlight, right?
One would imagine.
You would think.
One would think. At some point, he has to start getting those calls.
You would think.
You would hope. I don't know why he doesn't. I
mean, it might
truly
be the
don't at this
Lakers just get a lot of calls. You know, LeBron
Yeah.
just barrels to the basket every time, and
It's fine.
yeah, and that's just the way they officiate him. But on the flip side, like Zach Edey doesn't get those calls. Like, Brevin. By the way, happy birthday, Brevin Knight.
Oh,
Today's
happy
his
birthday, BK.
But Brevin talks about it like you can't officiate the players differently, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you officiate the action, not who the player is. It's the same with Shaq, right? Like Shaq used to just get like eaten alive when he would try to go to the basket, and they would say, "Well, he's so big, it's okay."
Yeah.
And you're like, no, like you have to ref Shaq the same way you ref Yuki. And I think the same goes for Zach Edey. Zach Edey's not getting those calls yet either. And at some point, he'll start getting those calls, I would hope.
Yeah, one would hope. With the Ja piece of it, especially on that play that he got injured on, it was so unfortunate. It's unfortunate, period.
Yeah.
And like the injury conversation with this team just hits differently. And I know a lot of teams are going through. If you look at the Pelicans injury report, it feels reminiscent of what the Grizzlies were dealing with last year. But the bottom line is they are down 3 starters right now, and Ja leaves that game. But you've seen such a, I feel like, purposeful approach from Ja Morant this season where he's trying to avoid putting himself in as many precarious situations. But at the same time, he is someone who is mentally built. And I don't even know if mentally built's the right way, because I think it comes from the subconscious.
Yeah.
He wants to get up and get to the rim. And in this case, he was finally going for a dunk. And we haven't seen him posterize anyone this season.
Yeah.
And I think that's by design, because he's trying to save his body. But he also wants, like, internally, that's how he plays.
I also feel like, though, with John, I don't know if I talked about this with you or somebody, but there's not like a switch you turn on and off.
Mm-hmm.
It's whatever is there, he's going to take. And if the alley-oop's there, he's going to take the alley-oop. If that move is there where he can go from the right side of half court, cut across the lane, to go with left, reach back right, and dunk on someone, which he's done over the years, he's going to do it if it's open. Like, that's what makes him so special, is that, to me, and I said it was like jazz music. It's like, as a musician, you'd understand this too. Like, he's playing a solo. He gets the ball, and he sees what's available, and he takes what's available. Yeah. Sometimes it means he has to spin to his left and do a 360 and shoot it left-handed. Sometimes he has to dribble from his left to his right behind his back. I don't think any of this is premeditated. And, maybe at the end of the move, he's thinking, all right, I can either go up here and draw a foul or try to shoot a fadeaway, and maybe I'll save myself a little bit. But I think for the most part, like, Ja's not coming into this game thinking, I'm going to dunk on someone. If it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not. He just takes what's available to him.
Yeah, I love the concept of, like, premeditated plays versus improvisation. And someone like Jay Huff, for example, when his instinct is to go for a reverse putback. Like, how easy is it to just
those are
jump up, tap
premeditated.
it in? That's just like in his soul.
If there's a dunk, I'm just going to spin around and dunk it backwards.
He is only thinking of going backwards on his dunks, which is crazy. Like, I would love to have a extended sit down with Jay Huff and be like, okay, when did you first throw down a reverse dunk? And when did it become your calling card? Because we've now seen it consistently, and doing it on a putback was wild.
Yeah, I was looking at, dunks. We're talking about dunks, scoring, points in the paint. That's one of the things Taylor Jenkins always talks about, is points in the paint. It's like a point of emphasis through the years. The last 4 games, I was doing some math. How about this?
Love math.
The Grizzlies have had 60 points in the paint plus in their last 4 games. They had 60 against the Lakers, 66 against Brooklyn, 70 against Philly, 68 against Milwaukee. Number 1 in the NBA in points in the paint. They're averaging 60.9 points in the paint per game. Over half of their points every game are in the paint. Like, this offense, I think, is really starting to pay dividends. And you're seeing guys like Jay Huff. You're seeing guys, like, there was a play the other night where in the 3rd or 4th quarter, they came down, Pippen passed it to somebody and just cut to the basket. Boom, got it right back, layup. They're seeing a lot of those plays, I think, they're starting to figure out, like, all right, look, you just move, pass, cut, move, go. Right. You get open looks and you get these points in the paint. And that's what sets up open threes for guys like Jay Huff.
And then you see a second half, like, against the Lakers, where the threes start to fall, and then it's a balanced offensive attack.
Well, that was a little bit overbound. They shot 17 for 34 on threes against the Lakers. Like, I don't know if you're going to shoot 50% every game.
No, and I think they had only made 5 in the first half. So it was a significant uptick, but you get the shooting from Jalen Wells. You get what Jay Huff ultimately gives you. What has your take been on Santi Aldama in the starting 3 role? He's someone who he's a hodgepodge of positions, but how has he fit there from your perspective?
I think it's like matchup based, Like, there's nights where you can see Santi able to get to the rim. There's nights where he's more of a spot up type player. I think that you can definitely tell there's been some adjusting going on Santi's part, because it's a different role, a different position. He'd been playing the 4 and starting at the 4 to start the season with Jaren out and throughout training camp. So I think it's a little different. We haven't really seen him since opening night really have another big scoring night like that. So I think part of that's switching positions. Part of that's also, like, look, like, Jalen Wells is cooking right now. Zach Edey's been playing great. Jaren's been playing great. A lot of other guys are kind of doing their thing. Santi's also just a good kind of fill-in guy. He's sort of like, he'll move the ball, find the open guy, swing it, crash the boards, all that stuff. And I think he's kind of just trying to fit into whatever else is happening around him.
You could need him tonight.
We could.
For scoring.
Yeah, I mean, the Wizards have a lot of real long dudes and, like, young guys, and they're going to run with you. So I would think the Grizzlies, without Ja, like, that's going to be, to me, the big question. Like, does Pippen start at point guard? Like, Marcus Smart's not available. And, the last game Ja missed, I think it was Desmond Bane and Marcus Smart started in the backcourt. Those guys neither of them are available tonight. So do you start Scottie Pippen, or do you start Luke Kennard and Jalen Wells as your backcourt. So I don't know.
What would you do, Roser?
I think they're going to start Pippen.
Do what?
I think they'll start Pippen.
They might.
I think it'll be Pippen, Wells.
Kennard off the bench.
Yeah, I think they'll start because just first game back from an injury. They ramp up.
Pippen, Wells, Santi, Jaron,
Pippen, Wells,
Edie.
Santi,
No, I mean,
Jaron,
like, who's
Edie,
the guard rotation?
Laravia, Kennard.
Conchar's questionable.
Yeah, I think he'll play. But again, when it's your first game back, they're not going to play you a ton. So JD may get like 10 minutes, maybe like that.
Kennard played some point guard in the third quarter the other night.
Yeah.
They had a lineup where he was the smallest guy out there.
Yeah.
So.
I thought it was interesting when it came to playing the Lakers, a team like that. Like, it's the best team you've played
Since the Magic.
since the Magic.
And they still had Paolo at the time.
Brandon had his high in minutes. They went with Brandon. Even though Brandon don't score a ton, like Brandon knows where to be and knows what he's doing out there.
Oh,
and
wait.
him and Jaron together, they're awesome. And he don't.
Isn't it your birthday today?
It is.
Oh my
What?
God!
It is.
Nobody told me. Is that I find out birthdays is Facebook, and he's not on the Facebook.
Oh, I
guess.
find out birthdays. I try to go through when they send us the company birthday month,
Once a
and
month?
yeah, I try to put the ones in my phone. So it is in my phone. Happy birthday, Roser!
Happy birthday.
Am I allowed to ask how old you are?
I'm 40.
We're not allowed
You're
to ask.
40. You don't look a day over 35.
Thank you.
Wow, does it feel different?
Yes, I hate it.
Does your back hurt even worse?
It's the same.
I got a present for you.
It's the same.
Christian McCaffrey's coming back.
I know. I've known that.
I'm
I've known
excited
that.
for that.
That's not news. I knew that 2 weeks ago. Christian
That's
McCaffrey
great
was coming
news.
back.
I hope you have a large plate of scrambled eggs and bacon.
By the way, free picks last night.
Yeah, how'd we do?
I said parlay Chase Brown, Jamar Chase, Mark Andrews, and Derrick Henry anytime
There
touchdowns.
you
They
go.
all four scored.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was watching a movie yesterday afternoon called My Old Ass. It's
Yeah,
the
it's
new
on
Aubrey
Netflix
Plaza movie. It's
or
on
something.
Amazon
Amazon,
Prime.
yeah.
It's really good. Completely not what I
Is it a
expected.
movie? What would you expect?
I thought it was a comedy.
Oh.
And I ended up sobbing on my couch in the middle of the afternoon.
Is it about a donkey?
No, it's not about a donkey. It's about a
It's called
girl
My
who
Old
takes
Ass.
she's tripping on mushrooms and she's visited by the 39-year-old version of her. She's 18. It's her 18th birthday. And Aubrey Plaza plays the 39-year-old.
Yeah.
My only critique of the movie is I would have loved more Aubrey Plaza because she was great. But she's 39, Roser, and she continuously, like, her younger self is like, you're old, you're 40. And she's so specific. She goes, I'm not 40. I'm not middle-aged. I'm 39. Were you big on the not considering yourself 40? Like, what is but 1 year difference between a 39 and a 40 when it really gets down to
It's
it?
a lot.
But what is
mentally.
it?
It's a lot.
Mentally.
Mentally, it's.
I mean, you've already
I can say
celebrated
this. Yeah, once you
birthday.
get past 40, it's just like you just celebrate waking up, man. Every day. I told someone the other day, like, I'm old enough now that when I get out of bed, I can't just like get out of bed. Like, I have to get out of bed in pieces. I have to, like, first I got to sit up and like stretch, make sure this is going. Then one leg gets out, and then, all right, let's get this calf warmed up. Then the other leg gets out. If there was some like emergency and I had to like jump out of bed, I'm not even sure if I could
make it.
Yeah. I don't know.
I even post Achilles. I'm a measly 32,
Yeah.
but I have to go down the stairs in the morning.
You said you tweaked your Achilles the other night at the game. It made me nervous.
It did not feel great, but we're fine. We're good. We're back.
Does that happen? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll get a twinge and you're like, oh God,
Yeah.
this is terrifying. And then it kind of like evens itself out, especially with this stupid half marathon training.
Yeah.
Do you
After I
have one of
finish a
those-
run.
One of those stretching boards. I'll send it to you. I bought one because my physical therapist has
Sounds like
one.
something a 40-year-old would
No,
recommend.
my physical therapist has one. It's for your calves and your
Oh,
Achilles. My physical
thanks.
therapist has one, and I was using it at his office, and I was like, "This thing is amazing!" And my calf and Achilles feel so much better.
Send it to me.
So I'm watching NBA like the opening night of the season. The freaking Oklahoma City Thunder have one before players go and check in. They have the same one sitting out.
I'm on
You
it.
get it for like $20-$30 on Amazon.
Well, thank you. I'm gonna get one
I'll
for
send it
that.
to you. Yeah.
I have a back pad now.
Yeah,
I've added a back
I have one in
pad.
my car.
I need one of
It
those.
goes in my
Yeah.
car too,
Yeah.
and I'm bringing it to the game tonight.
need one of those.
But anyway, the whole point of that movie, like you say, you just feel lucky to get up every day. Like that's the whole point of
Yeah.
it too. Like just it's become such a cliche. Like you live every day like it could be your last. Like we're
Yeah.
all just lucky to be alive. But like if you are fortunate enough today to be around someone that you love, to be around something that makes you happy, like wow, you lived a good day. So
Yeah.
it's a beautiful movie. If you want to cry, I think it's
Me and Roser made you think of that?
every morning that I sit right
No,
here, I'm like,
it's
oh,
It is. I don't want to like go out to eat or do anything for it. Like that's the kind of day. It's just like, oh crap, I really am. Like I'm old now, but you do feel it is nice to feel loved by friends and family. It is.
We love you, John. Did your girlfriend get you anything?
Yes, she did. And she was great. She was great.
What'd she get you? Is it appropriate?
Yeah. It's fine. She
I mean, you never know.
I hope it's not. That'd be.
She got me. She got a very nice handwritten card. People don't handwrite stuff
That's
a
true.
lot anymore. It was a very nice handwritten card. She got me a magnet of
Grizzlies schedule?
Small gift, a little magnet.
The Grizzlies schedule magnet.
Christian McCaffrey.
My puppy.
Oh,
that's nice.
Sally. It's a good picture of Sally. And then she got me a
good hippie hockey jersey.
No, a Yeezus Australian tour.
Oh, she knows you.
West T-shirt. Yeah.
Wow.
She knows you.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And here's the crazy thing: she got it knowing I will never wear it. Like it will be
'Cause it's
rolled
a
up
collector's
in a
item?
bag, put
Yeah.
in at the back of my closet with my collection.
That's a real one.
Things. Yeah.
Adding to a collection.
Yeah.
Lang, how do you feel about the Georgia Ole Miss game tomorrow?
good about it.
You feel good?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't feel good about Carson Beck because he's been a disaster since he started dating that Cavender twin.
Yes.
Ever since then, it's been done. Did you see that?
I hate doing like, it's the Cavender twin
They
curse,
put out a
but
video
like, my
yesterday.
God, he's been
Yeah.
bad.
They put out a video. The Cavender twins put out a video yesterday, and they were like, "Here's public enemy number one." And they talked. And she was like, "Yeah, bring me the hate." But yeah, since the last 4 games, he's got I believe it's 11 interceptions in his last 4 games, 8 in the last 3. He's just, I don't know what's been going on with him. But there was a good video I retweeted. The SEC put out of post game from the game the other night of Kirby Smart after the Florida game in the locker room, and he says, "Carson Beck, get your ass up here," and he makes him come up in front of the team, and he's like, "Look, you didn't have your best game. You didn't play great. But we're going to help you be better, and we've got your back." And then the whole team's cheering and stuff, and he looks like kind of upset about it. But
I mean, he has 11 picks in 5 games. He should be upset about it.
The other good thing, I sent it to the odds couple chat. There was some guy in Athens walking his dog, and he walks by the Georgia outdoor practice field, and it's like got the fence is covered so you can't see in. But there's a speaker in there, and you can hear Kirby Smart just cussing them out during practice this week. Every other word's a curse word. You're like, all right, I think they're locked in for this game. So we'll see.
As a Georgia fan and
Yes.
as our resident, biggest SEC fan, I would give you that take. Your thoughts on Florida keeping Billy Napier?
I think it's great. As a Georgia
I'm sure.
fan,
I'm sure you do.
I was all for it. I think it's a good move. I was kind of hoping he'd actually go to the Saints and become their coach to ruin that team also.
Have you been following the Pope?
Yeah, the Pope tweeting about the Saints.
Yes. It
Yeah.
is my favorite sub-story on social media
So
at
the
the
Pope
moment.
keeps tweeting stuff about Saints, not the New Orleans Saints, but he uses hashtag Saints, and it makes it generate the Saints logo, the fleur-de-lis, on the tweet. So people think the Pope is tweeting, the Pontiff is tweeting about the New Orleans Saints.
So funny.
Some of the ones so
funny.
far, we cannot become saints with a frown. We must have joyful hearts that remain open to hope, which, great message.
Yeah.
But it uses the Saints hashtag. The Saints are precious pearls and are always living and relevant because they provide a
The funniest
fascinating
thing is
commentary on the gospel. Like, not these Saints.
The comments are like, "My man, Dennis Allen's lost 7 in a row," and stuff like that in the response.
He needs a saint.
so good.
He needs a guardian angel at this point.
To be fair, the New Orleans Saints organization was also part of helping pay for a public relations department to help clean up the Catholic Church mess the last decade. So maybe there is a little,
Maybe there's teamwork.
Yeah, it could be.
I saw somebody say, like, what? Is content farming a crime? Is it a sin?
Yeah, maybe the Pope knew that they were
I think
firing
he
Dennis
knows.
Allen, and he
Maybe.
was trying to like get in on some of the
A little divine
clickbait.
intervention
Yeah.
type stuff. I agree with Billy Napier. 15 and 18, Florida fans are livid.
Yeah.
If there was one coach that felt destined to be fired going into this season,
Yeah.
it was Billy Napier.
He just
but
makes too much money. Like
he makes too much money, and his team has been playing for him. Like, there has been.
Yeah, they're not getting blown out.
No.
They're on their 3rd string quarterback. Like
and
against
this
Georgia.
does all but ensure that DJ Lagway comes back. And I think DJ
Maybe.
Lagway in his early.
I mean, I wouldn't say
I
that.
will never say
because
for
in this
sure.
portal era, like anything goes.
But
basically.
if they can get the money worked out
Yeah,
appropriately
he
for
might
DJ
stay.
Lagway.
Like he was pretty good. Like I mean, there's a chance he's going to play this week against Texas. There's been talk, but I was talking to a Florida alum yesterday morning once the news came out, and he was like, a lot of people wanted them to hire Kurt Cignetti last offseason. And he was like, if we wait another year, we're not going to get him. And I was like, I think if you wait 2 months, you can't hire Curt Cignetti. He's going to get hired by somebody at the end of this cycle before next season. So I think Florida's saying, like, basically, look, like, we're okay. We're going to try to build this thing the right way. I saw Dan Mullen retweeted somebody comparing his record and Napier's record at this point in their careers, because Mullins is way better. So there's a little bit of tea drinking going on there from the Florida coaching tree.
As there always is. It was Rivals tweeted thoughts? ? Billy Napier in 3 years, 15 wins, 18 losses, 45.5% win percentage. Dan Mullen, 34 wins, 15 losses, 69% win percentage.
I mean, to be fair,
do you think any of this is just I have wondered if there will be a coaching cultural reset with some of these programs where they understand that
you can't just
just recycle when you owe these coaches so much money. Money does not grow on trees.
Well,
I mean,
does in the
USC's
SEC.
dealing with it and technically it does in Los Angeles too. But the thought of how much they would have to pay Lincoln Riley in order to move on at this point, there's almost it's almost. Is it a better financial decision to hold on to that person and hope that there is a turnaround?
To be fair to Napier with those records, like, part of it is he's still cleaning up. Mullen was such a bad recruiter.
Yes.
Like that Napier's having to recruit guys to replace, like, Kyle Trash was the quarterback when Mullen was ending his time there. So that's part of it. He's trying to get, like, to the level of a Ohio State, Georgia, these teams that recruit top 3 every single year, and they're not there yet. But you look at, like, a Texas A&M, like, they flipped it and they're good right away, right? The thing is, though, with Texas A&M, like, Jimbo Fisher was bringing in those top 5 classes. The talent was there. It was just, like, the coaching wasn't good.
The oil money well has never dried up.
And I think if you're a Florida, like, sure, maybe the coaching hasn't been great, but the talent's still not there. And you've got to get that level up to make it all work. But if you're a fan of one of these teams, if you're a Florida fan, you look at it and you're like, oh, well, Texas A&M did it. We can do it. Why don't we just do that? We'll just pay the guy off and go hire a guy. It's just easier said than done. Although I do think Cignetti's going to be awesome somewhere. I thought he'd be so good at Florida. He's kind of got that Spurrier swag, like, he'd be a good guy to bring in and talk trash.
Go pay Lincoln Riley all the money.
You guys can keep Lincoln Riley.
No, I don't want Lincoln Riley anymore.
Yes, you did.
I don't want
You were
it
so
anymore.
excited when they got him.
I don't want
you were
it
like,
anymore.
It changes everything.
He got us a Heisman winner. Great. What else? I understand your pain, Oklahoma fans. I get it now. Lang, we'll see you on the warm-up tonight.
You'll see me at about an hour. I'm hosting Gary Parrish's show with
I'll see you in an hour. Can't
with
wait.
you.
We have to do this again.
Find something interesting for us to talk about.
Okay.
Okay, that's your job between now and then.
I'll see you on the warm-up show at 6 o'clock.
I'll see you all day today.
Yeah.
All right. Lang Whitaker, he joins us each
Happy
and every
birthday,
Friday.
Roser.
We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. Roser and I are doing our regows. You have to do a regow, Roser.
What does that mean?
Regow!
Do the noise.
Regow! Close enough. Our games of the weekend in college football and the NFL, and we will talk about the live tiger that is reportedly, allegedly returning to the sidelines in Death Valley this weekend. That was beautiful. We'll keep working on it. We'll be right back.
Hot Wheels fans, don't miss the exciting return of Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live Glow Party at FedEx Forum. Don't miss the world premiere of Scalosaurus. Watch your favorite Hot Wheels monster trucks light up the floor, including Gungster, Bone Shaker, and the legendary Bigfoot. Plus the dazzling dance party, laser light show, and more. And save up to 50% on kids' tickets. Don't miss this one-of-a-kind Hot Wheels experience at FedEx Forum, November 2nd and 3rd. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com.
At Southland Casino Hotel, it's time to work hard, play hard with our $500,000 giveaway. Earn entries October through November 9th and take home free play and amazing prizes on select Saturdays, including a big rig. Stay connected on social media for weekly drawing clues. Join us November 9th for the grand finale drawing where you could drive off in a four-wheeler, side-by-side, or big rig. Work hard and play harder at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
We have not talked to you since we got the big fella that's going to go next to you. What has impressed you about him, though? Just being on the same court with him, because you've watched him a lot in college. You got to see him. We got to see him very, very little in summer league.
Very quick twitch, like decision making. Yeah. No real fear of anything. Like very vocal, able to talk through the game. But I mean, like, dude won Player of the Year twice. Like
I know.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The three big beats this week. One was root for points in honor of John Roser. How about that Miami-Louisville game?
Good
Crushed
grief.
the over, which was 60. Finished with 97 total points, 52-45. Meanwhile, the Academy's covering again, both Army and Navy, getting the job done.
This.
Army, best start since 96.
America.
Navy crushed Charlotte. They're ranked 23rd and 24th in the country.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Who do you see ending up in the SWAC championship game? So give me your East and your West based on what you see right now.
If I had to say from what I've seen this year so far, I think you're probably going to get a Southern Jackson SWAC championship.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Goldberg announces he's going to have a retirement match in 2025, and he said this on College Game Day.
We know you're trying to ride the coattails because the 2025 is supposed to be the year of John Cena. Goldberg, I have a message for you, my guy. We don't care about your retirement match. Your retirement match was 3 years ago. Go somewhere, go away.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back. It is time for our Regals! That was impressive.
Was that better?
Yeah, you came back with a vengeance.
You thought I was actually using the bathroom when I went to the bathroom.
You were practicing.
I was practicing my
games of the weekend in college football and the NFL. Obviously, our games of the weekend include Grizzlies Wizards, the Grizz Wiz tonight at FedEx Forum, and Grizzlies Trailblazers on Sunday. At what point in the year do you start having marquee NBA matchups that are like must watch to you?
Christmas.
But
I don't know if that's even a thing anymore, though, because the NFL took over Christmas.
Yeah, I do think there's a small shift as Christmas feels like the beginning of I have to start training myself to exist without football in my life. And so I immediately replaced that with an ungodly amount of basketball versus a healthy amount of basketball at this point in the year.
Yeah.
I think the NBA Cup helps. Like, I'm looking at the games next week, and I'm at least the group play games less so. But once it gets into NBA Cup, it's amazing what a forced.
Wait, the Cup is when they all go to Vegas. The 4 teams go to Vegas.
Yes, but the Cup group play games start next week.
Yeah. No, I know that. But you said you weren't looking forward to the group play games. You said the Cup.
I'm looking forward to everything involved in the NBA Cup. Like I can trick myself into caring more.
Okay. I haven't gotten there yet.
If we
it's
hadn't
been a big thing on our show that
It's okay.
Nobody cares that the Lakers won it last year. Nobody cares. So,
I got swept into it when it happened.
I understand why they want it to be a big deal.
Why
they need
last year, and we're already out of it, and we were losing games to the Jazz and the Trailblazers, and it was very, very clear that they weren't going to participate.
I understand why
anyway, I'm
the
still
league
all
wants
in
it
on
to be
football.
big and why they need it to be big. But
I always think when we say games of the weekend, and I'm excluding the other sports, but when I say games of the weekend this time of year, it still means football.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
We both have Georgia Ole Miss on our list because of
I
course
was wondering that if we could have. I was trying to do a couple that didn't have crossover.
That's okay. We didn't cross over in the NFL.
Yeah. Okay, good.
But we can start with Georgia Ole Miss, and I know we just talked about it a little bit with Lang, but is there anything specific that you are most intrigued by other than the obvious that this is an elimination game for Ole Miss? They're coming off of a wildly successful offensive game against Arkansas in Fayetteville, walked into Fayetteville and took their lunch money. And Jackson Dart, when he goes untouched, is pretty damn good.
Yeah, this is why. This is the one where, okay, we'll see Ole Miss. Because you should have beaten LSU and you blew that game. LSU never led in that game.
You really shouldn't have lost to Kentucky.
And you shouldn't have lost to Kentucky either. But they got pushed around against Kentucky. And that's been something that Ole Miss, the 6th highest NIL collective in the country for football, that Grove Collective, like they shelled out big money for this team. It's why at the beginning of the season, Nick Saban specifically said, I think the difference for Ole Miss this year, he was kind of believing in this team. He said the difference where you're going to see it, where they haven't been as good. They've always had all these skill players under Lane Kiffin that are great, and they're fast, and they can put up points and get yards. But the difference this year is they've got players at the line of scrimmage now. They've got specifically on the defensive line. Georgia's always known for their offensive line under Kirby Smart, how good it is. Let's see.
Yeah.
Because this is the game that Ole Miss doesn't win. And Kirby Smart doesn't lose to anybody in the SEC unless it's Alabama. So
let's see.
If you have to make me pick, I'm laying 2.5 with Georgia, and I'm doing it all day because this is not the game that Ole Miss wins. But my lovely girlfriend is an Ole Miss grad, so I will be saying hotty toddy this weekend for her. But I'd take Georgia.
Yeah. This is huge. This is everything for Ole Miss. Every game for Ole Miss is everything from this point out. But this would be the one. And because Georgia only loses to Alabama.
Yes.
Previously, Nick Saban coached Alabama's team.
Now Kalen DeBoer,
Now
too.
Kalen DeBoer.
Seems it doesn't matter who the coach is.
Right. Can Lane Kiffin join that group of an elite few who are able to outsmart Kirby Smart? My number one game in the SEC, even though I am very excited for Georgia Ole Miss, further playoff implications with number 11 Alabama at number 15 LSU. It was a toss-up between which game I was more excited for this weekend, but then that toss-up was decided by the news that there is going to be a live tiger at the LSU-Alabama game. It is the first time since 2015 that LSU will have a live tiger mascot on the sidelines. It is not their resident mascot, Mike the Seventh. Oh, no, no. This is a tiger from Florida. The governor of Louisiana helped to secure a tiger. His name is Omar Bradley.
Yes.
The governor has been all about this. He wanted Mike. The veterinary school at LSU said, no, that's not going to work. There were also pushback from 2 state legislators saying, no, there should not be a live tiger on the sidelines. But according to reports, they have figured out how to make this a thing. Hey, call me crazy. Maybe we just don't need a live tiger in a stadium. Tigers are, from what I understand,
caged or not caged. What are we talking here?
Are we putting the tiger on a leash?
Is it like Ralphie? Are we running the tiger onto the field?
Can you imagine?
Ralphie and
everybody clear.
And they run Bevo too, don't they?
They do run Bevo.
That seems insane to me. By the way,
it's also insane to run Ralphie. It's insane to run a live
being
mascot.
A female too is like wild. Yeah, I never knew that until like last season.
Yes.
No, you can't do that to Ralphie. Do not cage Ralphie. Ralphie is amazing. Let Ralphie run. Run, Ralphie, run.
I just think it's such an odd thing. Like, tigers are kind of shy creatures from what I understand. And you're going to put it in Death Valley? You're going to put it in a night game in Death Valley? I, as a human being,
if it's not
feel like I have to mentally prepare if I go and attend a night game at Death Valley.
If it's not Mike the Tiger, then why?
They just want a tiger. This is what's wrong with people. People just want... They love wild animals in situations that...
They wouldn't allow, when the NCAA tournament was here, they wouldn't allow Butler to bring their bulldog.
Dog. I remember that.
Which is crazy because we have like adoptable pet night.
Exactly.
We have pets in the arena. We have dog races on the courts.
Didn't they pass like a big cat safety law after all of the Tiger King stuff? Where you can't privately own tigers anymore. This was a thing.
Yeah, I know. I've seen Scarface. It's a thing in the 80s.
I've seen The Hangover.
Yeah, right. Like Mike Tyson has a tiger.
I saw the Rugrats Las Vegas episode where they go to the Siegfried and Roy show.
What?
Yeah. They had the cartoon version of Siegfried and Roy and the tiger.
Okay.
Yeah. Then that tiger had the incident.
Oh, yeah. The tiger did have the incident.
Also, the Rugrats Las Vegas episode is one of the best episodes of the Rugrats.
I'll take your word for it.
It was a special one. It was on VHS.
I loved Rugrats. I don't remember that episode.
They sang the Go-Go's Vacation.
Who were your favorites? Phil and Lil? Phil and Lil.
No, I'm
my
Angelica
favorites.
Pickles, please.
Oh, my God, Angelica. What a
Cookie.
No, I
had Angelica Pickles placemats. I was an
like
only
Phil and
child.
Lil.
Come on.
I'm an only child too. I like Phil and Lil.
Yeah, they were cool.
I have
like Chucky.
I have been told many a times by Chris Vernon and other people that I have a ton of only child tendencies, qualities about me. Yeah.
I'm married to an only child, so the two of us ours really come out in like sharing things. We have to share things 100% equally. Like if we're sharing a cupcake and you're cutting that cupcake down the middle.
Do you weigh it?
It better be 50-50.
Do you weigh it?
It better be 50-50.
Yeah.
And like then if someone gets a little bit more, the other person will be like, well, maybe you should take off a little bit of it. Like it's obsessive. That is not the fun. But I feel like I was so determined and I absolutely had only child tendencies come out. But the like stigmas against only children, I was so self-conscious about those that I tried to fight to work overtime to make people not know that I was an only child.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry. We've talked to the therapist about it.
Yeah.
You go deep.
I've got my appointment on Monday, I think, or Tuesday.
Mine's next Thursday. I probably should have had one this week.
Yeah. He gives me homework. I've kind of forgotten the homework.
He gives you homework?
Yeah, I've kind of forgotten the homework the last 2 times.
That's okay. My therapist tried to give me a homework a couple times.
I bring a notebook to write.
I never did it.
I bring a notebook to write stuff down, and I forget writing stuff down. He writes everything down. Everything.
Oh.
Started seeing a male therapist. Great. Recommended by a friend. He's great.
Cool.
Yeah.
Go therapy. Proud of you. Anyway, why is the tiger going to be on this?
Why is it? Yeah, back to the tiger.
Back to the important things.
Yeah, we were talking about tigers being on the field.
Therapy is important, but also live tigers being on the field.
Tiger is more important this weekend.
They're trying to eat Garrett Nuss. They're trying to eat Jalen Milroe. I almost said eat Garrett Nussmeier. They wouldn't want to eat their own quarterback. If you were on an opposing team and there was a tiger on the field, would you feel more intimidated?
I've seen this before. No, I've seen this. The Tigers used to have one. I mean, University of Memphis used to have one.
And he was in a cute little
he's in a cage.
mobile.
Yeah, the tiger. Oh, the LSU's going to have the tiger in a cage. You can't just like. You're not going to have the tiger sitting there like it's Uga.
There's no rules anymore. Nothing matters.
There's not a little tiger house like Uga where it can come in and out of the tiger house.
What if it's like a dog that they paint as a tiger?
That would be funny. And
they used to do that at SEC Media Days. There was always an Auburn fan who brought a dog that they spray painted as a tiger, which I didn't love.
The University of Memphis used to have a tiger in a cage that they'd roll around the field, and I felt bad for the tiger because it was very small. It was very small, and it's like, yo, go take the tiger to its place where it lives and let it run around or do whatever.
When I moved here, when I was going to be a big bad journalist,
I
wanted to do a profile on that tiger so badly. I wanted to like do a day in the life of the Memphis tiger. Because I think he lived in a beautiful.
What, you want to go live in the cage? You want to go?
Oh, no.
That tiger
outside
lived
of the
better
games. That tiger lived better than any of us.
Any of us.
So I wanted to learn more about. And that tiger, R.I.P., tragically passed.
So the reason I say this is I've seen a tiger on the field before, and the last time I remember we played Mississippi State. So this is how long ago this was. Now I'm really showing that I'm 40. And an old Mississippi State fan yelled when the tiger came by. And started yelling, dog meat at the tiger. Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like if they wanted to put a dog against the tiger, I think I kind of know what would win. But,
I think so.
Yeah.
This has me thinking now.
Tigers are like, it's crazy. Lions are the king of the jungle, but lions don't live in the jungle. Tigers are bigger than lions, but tigers aren't considered the king of the jungle, and tigers actually do live in a jungle. So
okay, of all of of every animal in the animal kingdom, what would be the scariest animal to run out a team? No cage, no leash, just Ralphie style runs the team out.
One or multiple?
One.
Okay, because if you say multiple, it's wild dogs, the African wild dog. Watch videos of the African wild dogs eating. It is the most terrifying thing ever. It's like they're bigger piranhas. They're like real big they're piranhas, except they're big and furry. Yeah, terrifying. I would probably say, I've asked somebody at the Memphis Zoo. They've said the polar bear. They said the polar bear can defeat anything.
Polar bear or a hippopotamus. A hippopotamus can run 19 miles per hour.
Yeah,
you think Mudang's cute?
Yeah.
Not until she grows up and eats you.
Yeah, no, they're also mean.
Yes.
Hippos are
easily
mean.
aggravated.
Yes, they are very mean.
They're so cute, and then they're not.
And they're not. No, they're not.
Yeah, imagine a hippo on the field. We don't do it. Why do we do a tiger? Make it make sense.
Yeah,
All right, your other game is Miami, Georgia Tech.
Yeah, this is only if Haynes King plays. Right now, they are expecting Haynes King to play. That Georgia Tech coach is great as a double-digit dog. He's been fantastic as a double-digit dog. They're still 5-4. He's missed the last couple of weeks. Haynes King last played October 12th against North Carolina. They won that game. They 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're 5-2 with Haynes King. They're 5-2. They're 0-2 without him. But if he plays, Miami has flirted with disaster in a couple of these games. They were down like
a couple.
Virginia Tech. They were down like 4 touchdowns to Cal before coming back and winning. Who was the other one? Louisville. They could have lost Louisville. And then even
They were just in a 1-point game at the start of the fourth quarter against Duke.
Against Duke, right. It was right there with Duke, too. So, and I don't believe Mario Cristobal. I think Cam Ward is
I believe in
amazing.
Cam Ward.
I believe in Cam Ward.
Cam Ward has saved this team time and time again.
But I think Georgia Tech could give, and in Atlanta, I think Georgia Tech could give, if Haynes King plays, can give Miami their first loss of the season.
I agree.
So I think that's, and it's 11 a.m.
I said this of the undefeated teams.
And I thought you would pick Alabama, LSU. And honestly, you went with the live Tiger angle, which is great because I don't really know the other angle to go with in that game. It's like
the other angle is like Garrett Nussmeier, son of former spent 1 year. It's like former Alabama offensive coordinator. He spent 1 year. Granted, he won a national championship with them at that time, and Garrett Nussmeier was on the field, and that game was against Brian Kelly's Notre Dame team. So there are those storylines, but I just want to see a shootout between Nuss and Jalen Milroe.
Yeah, I think. I mean, the other thing too is like whoever loses, they're done. There are no playoff.
Right.
The playoffs chances are over. So.
All right, into the NFL because my other game was Georgia at Ole Miss. Although I am keeping a curious finger on the Utah-BYU game just because of the rivalry element.
I thought you were going to go with that game
I
because
know.
of how you talked about it on Wednesday.
I am excited about it, but Utah's so bad. Like
They're
they've
so
been
bad.
putrid. Like
Yeah.
after the very sad death of Cam Rising.
Again.
It's just not the same.
For like the third year in a row.
Right. I've reported the death of Cam Rising 3 times at this point, and now going into this one. But for BYU, again, similar to Miami being a crumbly, undefeated team, like Indiana feels legit to me because they've been destroying their opponents.
Yeah.
BYU and Miami have not. So I will be watching that. Plus, it's a night game, and we all need a night game in our lives on a late Saturday night. All right, into the NFL. Your first game is Niners Bucs. Of course, you get Christian McCaffrey back.
Christian McCaffrey. That's why it's Christian. You get Christian. I mean, anybody who has held on to him in fantasy football is excited for this game. I talked to somebody who had him and has held on to him and said he's projected for
25 points.
Like 25 points this week. So they're expecting him. He's a full go. He said he could have played in the Cowboys game, but they said no. There's a bye week after the Cowboys game. We'll get you. We'll be ready to go after that. We'll get you a couple weeks of practice in. I think that's the only reason this is on here. It's the return of Christian McCaffrey, who is I'm a Niners fan, but take away the bias, and I think anybody who they objectively can say Christian McCaffrey outside of the quarterback position is legit top of the list as best players in the NFL.
Agreed.
So that's what you're getting this weekend. It's one of the best players in the entire NFL returning.
I will take the best.
Against a team that has had trouble, scoring in the red zone. So he should change that big time. 49ers were number 1 in the red zone last year. They have been god-awful at scoring in the red zone this year. As I'm sure you know, you are married to a 49ers fan.
Sure am.
He and I talked all about this
We will be seated.
after the Lakers game the other night.
We have to do, for our half marathon training, we have to do a 9-miler sometime this week, and we're running out of time. Like, I'm not going to do it this afternoon because we have a Grizzlies game tonight, and they just wiped me out. So we're doing it Sunday, but he was looking up the time of the Niners game, which is a noon kick, and so we will be doing our 9-mile run after the Niners-Bucs game, and it will either be, I think he'll either fly as a runner or he's going to have the worst run of our training session so far.
Bucs are coming off a Monday Night Football game. No Godwin. Godwin's done for the year, maybe done forever.
I hate
it's
that.
so sad. And Mike Evans, I don't think Evans is playing either. So It's a good spot for us.
My first game is Broncos-Chiefs, 8-0 Chiefs. League's 5th best scoring margin, taking on the league's 6th best scoring margin in the Denver Broncos, who are 5-4, coming off of a very bad loss to the Baltimore Ravens. Can they bounce back? A little stat for everyone in our continued "How is Bo Nix" conversation. Bo Nix in the month of October, 66.6% completion percentage, 8 touchdowns, 1 interception. The Broncos went 3-1 in October.
There's a reason for that. They beat the Raiders, the Saints, and the Panthers.
Correct. And their defense has been pretty stellar outside of the game against the Ravens. I will say, watching Bo Nix with my own eyeballs, one, he might be the best receiver he has. Like, he caught a touchdown pass in that game against the Ravens that his own receivers have not been able to catch similar balls. Like, when you think about it, Courtland Sutton, who just has never lived up to what was hoped of him, Lil Jordan Humphrey, Troy Franklin, your rookie 4th-round receiver. Like, those are your top 3 guys, and it has been difficult for Bo Nix. I am not trying to make apologies, but we will see how he stacks up against this Chiefs defense this week. If he can, this is huge from a rookie quarterback confidence perspective, how you bounce back against such a... They didn't score in the second half against the Ravens.
Yeah, no, you look at, I mean, Denver, the story with Denver has been they beat Tampa Bay. Now, they beat Tampa. They did. That's a good win because they beat Tampa when they were at full strength. They've beaten the Jets, the Raiders, the Saints, and the Panthers, and they have lost to the Chargers, the Ravens, the Steelers, who are all 3 legit, and the Seahawks, who they suck too. But to your point, your quarterback, who caught a touchdown pass, 3rd rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
To throw for a touchdown pass, rush for a touchdown, and catch a touchdown. 3rd rookie to do it.
Other 2?
Other 2.
Give me
Cordell
a hint.
Stewart in 1995.
Wouldn't have gotten that one.
I know you would not have gotten that one. You weren't alive.
I was alive. I was 3.
You were born in 92?
Yeah.
90s baby.
That's me.
I'm a child of the 90s. I'm an 80s baby, child of the 90s.
I'm a
the other
90s baby, a child of the millennium.
The other one, Pac-12 quarterback. Pac-12 quarterback. And he's still in the league. He's a backup. He's still a backup.
Josh Rosen.
No. Josh Rosen isn't in the league.
I don't think so.
This guy is still a backup, yeah. Pac-12 quarterback. Still in the league. He's a backup.
Young or old?
I mean, he's still in the league. He can't be old. Yeah. He was. Oh, man. I mean, he won 3-time first-team All-Pac-12, Heisman Trophy Award winner. Yeah. Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Year, Pac-12 Offensive Freshman of the Year. Did he never make the All-Pro team? Or college football doesn't do All-Pro team. The All-American team? He was a 3-time first-team All-Pac-12. He won the Heisman Trophy. He won the AP College Football Player of the Year. He won the Walter Camp, the Maxwell, the Davey O'Brien, the Manning, the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm. He was a unanimous All-American, too.
Marcus Mariota.
Okay. There it is.
That
took you too long, Jess.
It did take way too long. My brain is fried this week. Your other NFL game, Steelers-Commanders.
Steelers-Commanders, here's why. It is a couple of first-place teams, but I think this is a bigger thing here. I think a lot of people love the Commanders. I even talking to Mike Wallace, a Commanders fan.
Correct.
We were joking about a tweet where a girl said she was breaking up with her boyfriend because he didn't take the election seriously and he wrote in some football player and people started asking who, and she said somebody named Jaden Daniels. That's where Commanders fans are. That's how much they love Jaden Daniels.
That's funny.
He should just be president of the United States. Mike Tomlin coming off a bye. Mike Tomlin against a rookie quarterback. Mike Tomlin is 25-6 against rookie quarterbacks, and he's had another week to prepare for this. There's a couple of games the Commanders, their great record, 7-2, 6-2, it's something 7-3. The Commanders really good this year, but there's a couple of games that have 7-2. Bears game easily could have lost. That first Giants game where the Giants kicker got hurt and they had to go for 2 the whole time. Just saying. Something to watch. I think a lot of people want to take the Commanders, and I'm firmly on the side of taking the Steelers.
I like that.
And I think Russell Wilson's been better than people are giving him credit.
He has. I will take Lions-Texans with my last game, not because I think the Texans are in shape right now to hang with the Lions, but because I enjoy watching the best team in football, and I am ready to claim the Detroit Lions as the best team in the NFL right now. 6 straight wins, 4 on the road, 4 by double digits. They are a fun team to watch. Jared Goff is on an absolute heater. The Lions, how's this for a little stat? The Lions have more offensive touchdowns than incomplete passes since week 3. I love offense.
It's crazy.
I love watching this Lions team. The Texans are in a place with some injuries. Their offensive line hasn't been great. They still aren't getting Nico Collins back this week. Once they get Nico back, I'll catch up with my overall vibe check on the Houston Texans, but considering the injury to Stephon Diggs, right now it might be a tricky week for them.
It is. The only thing that gives me pause on it is
Joe Mixon, who's been awesome.
No, it's D'Amico Ryans coming up with a way to maybe slow them down. Maybe can do it. If D'Amico can't do it, I don't. Maybe Kansas City would be the only team that might be able to. So I'm with you. All of a sudden, we all love C.J. Stroud, right? C.J. Stroud don't look so good without Nico Collins and Stephon Diggs, does he?
John Martin is in the chat, and I'm curious if it's the John Martin, because John Martin, I haven't seen him in a Grind City Media chat, so that'd be exciting. But he said he wrote in you for president, Roser. He likes your policies.
It's funny, I wrote in him.
You're gonna be so tough on Putin.
I wrote in him. I wrote in John.
That's so cute. Martin. You guys canceled out each other's votes.
Yeah.
Aww.
Well, it's a red state anyway. We can do that in a state like this.
All right, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, a little Music Friday on our way out, some songs that dropped this morning. Plus, the Grammy nominations are just a few hours away. I'll give Roser the odds, and I'll see if he knows everybody who's nominated for one of the big 4 categories, or presumed to be nominated for the big 4 categories with the Grammys when we come back.
Anticipate each challenge. Make a quick response. Capitalize on every opportunity. And win. Greatness won't wait. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Justin Timberlake. I'm bringing sexy back. The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now. For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
One of the things I really do like about the history of the Memphis Grizzlies is that we have people who have moved here and stayed here. I like how much some of those guys have not only made millions here and won games here, but spent real time here and raised children here.
Yes.
And become a real part of the community.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You know, we got to talk about Scottie Pippen Jr. Scottie has inked that contract, and he is now officially off the two-way. He is a member of the regular rotation.
Well-deserved, from my opinion. Like, he straight up earned this one from all the time put in last season with the injuries to Summer League.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizz, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Who do you see ending up in the SWAC championship game? So give me your East and your West based on what you see right now.
If I had to say from what I've seen this year so far, I think you're probably going to get a Southern Jackson SWAC championship.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Friday. We do a little Music Friday on our way into the weekend. For everybody who is a fan of the show, you will know that I was very excited that there is a remix of DJ Play a Christmas Song that dropped at midnight. I am all about making DJ Play a Christmas Song by Cher one of our new official Christmas anthems. I will not rest until this becomes a thing. And she collabed with Kelly Clarkson.
Oh, I like it.
Friend of the show, Kelly Clarkson. So this made me thrilled. I'm sad CJ's not here for this news because he would absolutely find a way to crush it. But it's a great song, Roser. If you haven't heard, DJ.
Hey, where did
Christmas
I know you
song,
and
'cause
CJ?
I wanna keep dancing all night long.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. That sounds terrible. Don't
It's
ever
so
do that. There you go. There's my CJ right there. Please don't do that. Where? That's such a jerk thing to say. Do what you do, Jess.
Thank
You're great.
you. I don't listen.
Where? I know you and CJ.
I don't listen to men, so it's fine.
You and it's perfect. Kay Adams doesn't either, according to Kevin Durant. Where you and CJ have done the Billboard Pop Artists of the since 2000 rank. Where was Kelly Clarkson on that?
Far too low.
Where was she?
It was Greatest Singers.
No. They're doing pop artists, like the biggest pop artists.
Oh, that's right. Hold on. I don't want to miss.
I know they still. I know
Wasn't
like Taylor Swift, Beyonce, and Drake are going to be the top three. I know they're going to be the top three.
It ended
with
up
whatever
being.
order.
Oh, shoot.
But they're doing it like once a month is when they announced it.
Yes.
But she was on there, wasn't she? She was in like.
I thought she was.
She was in like the 11 to 20 range or something.
I know,
like
but
that.
she's not on this. She's not.
Jay-Z was on it.
Yeah, Jay-Z was 16.
Jay-Z's not a pop star. I don't
She's
know.
not
I
on
don't.
it.
That doesn't make sense to me.
She's
Jay-Z's not a pop
disrespected,
star.
Roser, is what it is. Kelly
Yeah.
Clarkson continues to be. She's respected by her peers and disrespected by the public. And I won't stand for it anymore.
Yeah.
Ariana Grande was just doing Bo and Yang's podcast, and she gave Kelly Clarkson the necessary flowers.
Yeah, Kelly Clarkson deserves her flowers. Jay-Z also not a pop star. I remember y'all doing that. Y'all were talking about that, and I was like, Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Jay-Z is not a pop artist. Like,
It was.
he's married to one, but he's not one.
10 through 25 was Adele, Usher, Eminem, Nicki Minaj, Justin Timberlake, Miley Cyrus, Jay-Z, Shakira, The Weeknd, BTS, Bruno Mars, Lil Wayne, One Direction, Bad Bunny, Ed Sheeran, Katy Perry. And the assumed remaining 9, this was 24 days ago, so there's probably been an update. But Ariana Grande, Beyonce, Britney Spears, Drake, Justin Bieber, Kanye West, Lady Gaga, Rihanna, Taylor Swift.
Okay, they've gotten Kanye was 7.
Okay.
Because I follow a bunch of fan accounts.
Okay.
So like he was 7.
There's a great Justin Bieber bit in that movie that I watched, Mild Ass.
Yeah.
One Less Lonely Girl.
Okay.
What a banger. It once was. Anyway, the Grammy nominations come out in just a couple of hours. These are the official odds. And I'm curious if any of these would be your album of the year, Roser.
Okay, well, the chances I've heard these are...
These 3 albums have 11 to 2 odds of winning album of the year.
What, they've announced them?
No.
Okay, these are what they think
These are
going
the
to be?
projected announcements of the nominations.
Okay.
Billie Eilish, Hit Me Hard and Soft.
Never heard it.
Beyonce, Cowboy Carter.
Cowboy Carter, I like Cowboy Carter. Too long, but I liked it.
Taylor Swift, The Tortured Poets Department.
That album's boring as hell.
17 to 2 odds, Chappell Roan, The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess.
I can't get into it.
23 to 2 odds, Charlie XCX, Brat.
Yeah, I didn't listen to it.
14 to 1 odds, Vampire Weekend's Only God Was Above Us.
Didn't listen to it, but
It's a pretty good album.
I should listen to them.
Good album.
Actually, I know some of their stuff.
Ariana Grande's Eternal Sunshine, 15 to 1 odds.
I can't listen to her.
It's a great album.
I know, but she looks like
It's a
she's 12 years old.
Phenomenal album.
I feel very
And everybody should
weird.
enjoy it because I think she's about to make a big turn into doing more theater projects. And then Sabrina Carpenter, Short and Sweet, 18 to 1 odds.
I like that one song she had.
Sabrina Carpenter?
Yeah, what's the one song?
Espresso?
No, there was one that was she cursed a lot on it. It was. She said the F word.
Yeah, I know. It's really hard for me to think of songs in
Yeah.
the moment when you just ask me, even though I listen to all of Sabrina Carpenter. I know what please, please, please. Please, please, please don't do me right.
Yeah, something like that.
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm trying to think of. I downloaded the
Taste.
Chappell Roan, the Good Luck Babe song when it was popular.
It's a great song.
I actually downloaded that. It's fine.
I like Good Luck Babe. I like Pink Pony Club.
You know what?
I
I'm
like Red
really
Wine
glad it's not
Supernova.
on there. I know some people love it. That Post Malone album sucks.
You said it, not me.
That album sucks. It's not good. It's just generic bebop country stuff.
Bebop
Like,
country.
that's what Luke Bryan does. Like, I don't need that from Post Malone.
I think Shabuzi will be.
think-
Do you think Shabuzi will be nominated for a bar song?
Probably.
Do you like that song?
That song is what it is.
All of my friends, boyfriends, and husbands love that song.
The pop country, the Jaquan's
Da-da-da-da,
tipsy.
another time of
Jaquan's
whiskey, yeah.
tipsy, country
Here
version.
comes Owen.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like it's a bop. But that's what it's supposed to be.
Shot of whiskey.
Yeah, the Post Malone album.
I got a history.
The Post Malone album is terrible.
Cowboy Carter is my album of the year. I have not swayed from that.
I did the Cowboy Carter against Tortured Dead Poets because those are, to me, I think you can do that because those are the two biggest artists in the world. They are. They're the two biggest music artists in the world. And they both released albums around the same time, so I think it is absolutely fair to compare them.
Yes.
And Taylor Swift's album sounds like stuff I have heard a million times from Taylor Swift, and Beyonce did something different. And while I think the Beyonce album is too long and needs to be shortened down like a lot of albums need to be, it is still really, really good. And there are songs on there that I go back and listen to where I feel like Taylor Swift's album is like 30 songs of the same thing, and it's boring.
Cowboy Carter to me is an experience. Like, I think one of the problems with Cowboy Carter is that it got so billed as a country album, and there are country elements, but it is such a versatile music album where it uses so many different genres, which obviously the country music industry has used to hold her out of CMAs. It'll be interesting if it gets nominated for a Grammy for Best Country Album. My issue with Cowboy Carter is that the song that they hinged everything on is Texas Hold'em, and I think that's the worst song on the album. And that does have 6-1 odds of being record of the year and 6-1 odds of being song of the year. So the difference between song of the year, record of the year is all the production elements that go within it. Song of the year is more of a singer-songwriter award. I wouldn't hate if Texas Hold'em won record of the year. The other ones that are projected to be nominated, Sabrina Carpenter's Espresso, Billie Eilish's Birds of a Feather, Chappell Roan's Good Luck Babe, Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us, Ariana Grande,
hang
We Can't
on.
Be
Song
Friends.
of the year? Song of the year?
This is record of the year.
What the hell is the difference?
Record of the year is production elements. Song of the year is like lyrics.
Okay.
And
Record
so,
of the year. Give it to me. Production.
Record of the year, Texas Hold'em, Espresso, Birds of a Feather, Good Luck Babe, Not Like Us, Ariana Grande's We Can't Be Friends, Taylor Swift featuring Post Malone, Fortnite.
Song's terrible.
Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, Die With a Smile, also terrible.
Okay. I have literally heard like 3 of those songs. So
My thing, I'm cool with Texas Hold'em or
Not Like Us. The production on that is not like, it's very
Yeah,
it's
but
it's a simple mustard beat.
But it's the entirety of the song. Like, it's everything. Like, record of the year is everything, whereas song of the year is more focused. It used to be that song of the year was supposed to take away from like the boppy poppy hits that earworm their way into being the most popular song of the year versus like something that was, I think Birds of the Feather is what used to represent song of the year. Because that's a beautiful, well-written song.
Okay, so song of the year then, if it's well-written, please let Not Like Us win that.
It'd be really funny.
It'd be the funniest thing
It would be
ever.
really funny. I'd respect it.
Not Like Us won that.
I think it'd be funny. And then Best New Artist is absolutely going to go to Chappell Roan. Well, it is a competition between Chappell Roan and Sabrina Carpenter, but considering how Chappell Roan bursts onto the scene, I will never forget watching Chappell Roan on SNL last weekend and her putting the mic out to the crowd, and that crowd knew every single word to Pink Pony Club.
Crazy.
Like, you don't see that on SNL. You don't see the whole audience singing along because it's usually a pretty like diverse group of people.
Well,
they're not all interested in the same music.
And sometimes you're singing a brand new song.
And she did sing another new song, which I actually enjoyed later in the show.
Yeah.
Speaking of SNL, we were talking before the show. I need to know anyone out there who has ever heard of the artist MKG.
MKG.
MKGE. So it's MKGEE. He's the musical guest with Bill Burr on SNL this weekend.
Bill Burr.
And I can't find anyone who's ever heard of MKG.
Is Bill Burr going to do his monologue about yelling about his wife?
Probably.
Him and his wife arguing about stuff.
Probably about the election.
I would say it makes me laugh.
I'm
it's
excited. I'll sit down and watch.
It is like, I see a bunch of Bill Burr. I've seen a bunch of Bill Burr. And I was like, it makes me laugh. It's the same shtick, but it makes me laugh.
Mulaney does the same thing, and I still laugh at Mulaney.
Right.
So to go from Mulaney last week to Bill Burr this week, I'm a fan. Anyway, MKG, apparently one of the greatest young guitar players that we have.
Oh, he's like a Bill Strings.
Billy Strings.
Bill Strings.
He's playing 2 nights here.
Yeah,
I'm trying to go.
Is the upper deck open?
I don't know, but I'm
That's
trying
what
to
I
go.
don't know. I'm like, is he that big? I've heard he's really good, but like.
I didn't realize how big he is, but I still am not.
Because where do you hear his music?
I didn't hear about him until. So obviously we had the ad for him, which I know I have some friends out there who think that Billy Strings could promote his tour better based on the ad that we're running.
Yeah,
and I do agree, because based on that, I was like, oh, who is this guy? But then a song came up on my TikTok. I listened to this thing called Trackstar, where they go around and have people, you have to like guess the name of the song and you can win money. And one of them was a Billy Strings song.
Okay.
And I was like, ooh, I really like that 30-second bit. And I ended up listening to his whole album. I was like, oh, I really like this.
Yeah.
And then looking into him more and reading a profile and like his sobriety, and he left a show that he was doing immediately because his wife went into labor. But I still don't know. 2 nights in an arena is a lot.
It's a lot.
But apparently he's bigger than I thought that he was.
Yeah.
But he's good. One last music story. Have you been following the Zach Bryan situation?
Okay, so I saw the song that
Portnoy put out.
Portnoy, and who's the other guy? The
I
guy
don't
he
know
does
his
the
name.
show with?
Yeah, I don't know his
Josh
name.
Richards.
Okay.
BFFs.
Yes.
Yeah, I see this. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? I saw the song they put out.
Right.
Basically, like, Zach Bryan cheats on her and has STDs, and this is supposed to be a diss. And I'm like, you were dating a rock star pretty much. What did you think was going to happen?
A rock star who is cheated on his first wife, served her divorce papers while she was deployed. Like, there's no secret on Zach Bryan's history with women. Zach Bryan came
He's
out with a
also
new song,
depressed
too.
all the time.
He has a new song called High Road out.
Okay.
So this is becoming a thing. But the Brianna Chicken Fry, and I always forget what her
That is
actual
not
last
her
name
last
is.
name. Why
It's not
is that her
real-
name,
Because
though?
that was her, when she made her TikTok, she made it Brianna Chicken Fry. It was supposed to be like an ode to the Vine days. And it was just funny because somebody said that her legs looked like chicken.
Okay.
Chicken fries from Burger King.
Okay.
And so she goes by Brianna Chicken Fry. But she said that she turned down a $12 million NDA that Zach Bryan's team tried to get her to sign, and they would have given her $12 million to not talk about the relationship, and she turned it down. And she has started talking about it, and she claims that she was emotionally abused by Zach Bryan. And one of the examples she gave was that she wore, like the dress that she wore to the Golden Globes last year, I think it was. He came back and was like, I can't be with a girl who would wear something like that. And I'm like, oh my God, we're still doing this?
Yeah,
we're still doing. You're one of the most famous people in the world.
Yeah.
You have this beautiful girlfriend, and you're going to shame her for wearing like
Where's he
a
from?
ball
Isn't he
gown
from?
with a
He's
slit?
from like Chicago, isn't he?
Where is
Or like
he
right
from?
outside Chicago.
I thought he was from the.
And he's not country, right?
He was
He's
born
more
in
of like
Okinawa.
He's more of like
He's like folksy. Yeah, he was born
Americana.
in Oklahoma. He was born in Oklahoma. I was like, he's
more
not a
like Americana. He's like Americana. Yeah.
Folky Americana.
It's him. He's big on like Bruce Springsteen.
Yes.
Him and
But
Springsteen.
this
They're on like
is-
the cover of Rolling Stone or something.
I do think this is going to affect his.
It
like. I think he had an opportunity
because he
to
was
kind
on
of be
men
the
and
next
women.
Springsteen.
Yeah, men and women both loved him, and this will hurt.
Anyone who chooses, like I don't even like to say their name, but anyone who chooses to wage a war with Barstool, like that's just not a.
It's not a good idea.
Battle
Because
that
they have young people.
feels.
It does not. No.
There's a lot of layers to this, but I'll just skate over it with.
don't
I would
do
not
that.
personally start a fight with Barstool, and that is where this exists now, and we will see how that works.
Would never
for
do
Brian.
that. Would never do that.
No. That said, he's got a new song, High Road, out.
He's got to do a song. I'll have to
Go
listen
check
to it
it
because
out.
Zach Bryan, for all this, he still is a great songwriter, and I'm
And
sure
he will make
we will
a
get
hell
some
of an album out of this one.
Yeah, him and Taylor Swift. Man, did they know how to have relationships and then write about them?
Some would say you understand you can make a buck.
Yeah.
off of things like
They're
that.
great
It
at
works
it.
sometimes. All right, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope to see you tonight. Get your tickets. Grizzlies, Wizards tonight at FedEx Forum. You can go to Ticketmaster.com. Come hang out with me, with Roser, with the team as they take on the Washington Wizards. Then they will be on the road. This is your last chance to see the Grizzlies at home until a week from Sunday. So they're on a little bit of a long extended road trip. We will be back on Monday to talk about all the happenings of the weekend. We'll see you then. Bye.